Fun fact, I always mismatch my socks and they always have holes. So 9 months ago, I decided to quit the gym for a season because I wanted to heal my relationship with it. I knew that I was doing it for the wrong reasons because I was trying to change my body or control my body and not gain weight or lose weight, and it was a really unhealthy place. I couldn't miss a day, I stressed about it, and it really impacted my life in a negative way. So I really just started to walk, and that's all I've been doing for the past 9 months, and my relationship with exercise is better. But today I really just wanted to take you on a little walk and do a little bit talking about something that's been on my mind for a while.
Ditch your diet and accept your body the way God made you.
So like I said, it's been 9 months since I went to the gym, healed my relationship, and I'm going to be going back really soon. But right now I'm just walking and I'm just enjoying it. So I wanted to talk about intuitive eating and what it is versus what it's not, because this is something that I was like really confused about and kind of almost like misinformed about in the beginning when I started this intuitive eating, food freedom, whatever you want to call it, journey. So I kind of thought that like food freedom or intuitive eating was just like an excuse to eat like junk food all the time, and that's just like what people wanted to call it because they just wanted to eat junk food and like not eat healthy or clean or whatever. So I was like really like thinking this is not something I want, but then I realized it's something that I needed to practice if I really wanted my life back, and I really wanted to stop thinking about food all the time and stop finding my weight or worth in my weight. So I decided to just try it. Like worst comes to worst, I don't like it, and I just go back to like counting macros and not being free. And what I realized is intuitive eating actually like sets me up to better honor my health. So what I mean by that is now I actually crave like quote unquote healthy, clean foods a lot more than I used to. Yes, I went through this phase of like eating a lot of refined foods and refined sugar foods and like cookies and cakes and donuts and all these things that I never used to eat because I had so much willpower, and I went through this phase of like eating them all the time. But after going through that phase and really allowing full permission for all foods, which is the key to intuitive eating, so like not restricting anything, allowing yourself to eat all foods in as many, like I guess as much quantity as you want, not just like saying, okay, I'll have one brownie, but only one. Saying I'll have a brownie, and if I want 2, if I want 3, if I want 4, like as many as you want. And I went through this phase, and it was really scary. Like I thought it was gonna be forever, where I just like wanted a million brownies. But after I went through it and just like gave myself permission, my body realized that it doesn't feel good eating 5 million brownies. Like I don't actually feel good, and like they just kind of lost their magic. Like I feel like when you don't eat those foods, they have like this like hold on you, like they feel like magical and like you want them all the time because you're not eating them. And that's actually a biological thing. So what we restrict is what we will crave. And that's because when you restrict something, your brain thinks that you are in a famine, and it thinks, well, this food's not available, so it makes you think about food, and especially the food that you're restricting all the time. And this is because your body is trying to keep you alive. So if you're not actually eating and not eating enough food for your energy needs, your body will make you think about food all the time, because it's actually just trying to get you to seek food out and eat it. It's like a biological thing. It's not a lack of willpower like I thought it was. It's just because you are not eating enough or because you are restricting certain foods. And you will find that you think about the things that you're restricting. Like for example, for me, it was cookies and cakes and all these things. So I realized that once I actually started to eat those things with full permission, like I stopped thinking about them. I stopped wanting them all the time. Like I still want them once in a while, and I eat them now, but there's no guilt or shame because I know that I can have them whenever I want. And that's another reason why I don't feel the need to eat 5 brownies, because I can have 1 brownie and I can go, okay, if I want another brownie, I can eat it. But before it was like I can only have 1 brownie, and there was just like restriction around it. So the more I restricted it, the more I wanted of it. And now I know that food is there all the time. I don't feel the need to eat a million brownies at once. And I'm also not thinking about food anymore. I think about it once in a while, and then I know, okay, I'm probably hungry. I should probably just go eat, because actually to me now I know it's a sign of hunger. Before I literally thought about food all the time. Like there was not a minute when I wasn't thinking about food. But now that I'm nourished, I'm eating enough food, I'm eating when I'm hungry or when I'm thinking about food, I'm eating when I want without guilt or shame. Like that whole food obsession or food addiction that I thought I had is just like gone. And I honestly never thought that it would be. making sure that no one's gonna hit me as I cross the road. And so that's the amazing thing about intuitive eating, is that it's not just this excuse to just eat like crap. Like, you may eat quote unquote like crap at first. Another thing of intuitive eating is not seeing food as good or bad, and knowing that all food is just food, and if you want to eat a cookie or brownie, you can, and you can move on. But I actually started to crave healthier food, and I feel better just allowing all foods into my diet when I want them. So all foods fit is like what I say. And that's what food freedom is about. It's really impacted my life in so many ways. I can even go for like spontaneous Chipotle dates, like the video that's in the corner. Like, I don't have to fear those things anymore, just because I have all permission for food, and because I now have this intuitive eating, food freedom mentality. But the thing is that you only get there if you go through that whole full permission thing. So you go through that phase where you eat everything and anything with full permission in whatever quantity that you want. If you keep any kind of restrictions, you won't get to this place where you don't think about food all the time and you don't crave all these things all the time. So that is like the really big key. And that's why I think some people get scared, and I think that intuitive eating is just like an excuse to eat all that kind of stuff, because they have to go through that phase and they don't allow themselves, they don't give themselves permission to have full permission, I guess. And so they don't allow themselves to get through that phase, and then they just think that this phase is gonna be forever. But if you allow yourself to actually go through it, fully commit yourself 110% to doing it, it will stop. And you really will crave more nourishing things most of the time. Not always. I still eat a donut every once in a while, because I love it, even if I'm not hungry, because I just want it. But you have to give yourself the space to go through that without fear and without judgment, without thinking you're bad or doing something wrong, and know that this is part of the process, and it's a really important and life-changing part of the process too. This is why intuitive eating is not just an excuse to eat a bunch of junk, but the key is to give yourself full permission. And then we'll be able to love and accept our bodies the way God made us, and we will know that our worth is not in our weight, so we can cross it off and drop it off. And I'll see you in the next video.